Hello and welcome back to TST. If you're new to the channel, tap on the subscription button and press the notification bell so you can receive news and updates that you can rely on daily. Due to a temporary lockdown on pretty much everything for the emergency situation, we're currently unable to report news from our studio, and instead, we're reporting the channel remotely from home. Well, stay tuned and keep watching. Constitutional law professor Slams Acosta. He says, CNN's echo journalism model is destroying the media's credibility. CNN's Jim Acosta just can't help himself during the daily coronavirus task force press conferences. He's always trying to score political points by asking gotcha questions. Constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley criticized Acosta's behavior during White House coronavirus briefings. Jim Acosta's interruption of Dr. Birx is an example of how CNN's echo journalism model is destroying the media's credibility. Turley tweeted on Saturday, "Every question from Acosta is an effort to score points rather than elicit information. It is a press pandemic that continues to rage without relief." Turley, who was referring to Deborah Birx, the response coordinator for the task force, was a GOP witness during the Democratic-led impeachment investigation against President Trump. Acosta drew the ire of several journalists for his combative style during White House briefings on the Trump administration's response to the coronavirus pandemic, including from Fox News' Brit Hume, who criticized Acosta for interrupting the president. "Back when I was a White House correspondent and when Sam Donaldson was before me, we asked aggressive questions," Hume tweeted. "But we were respectful and almost never interrupted or argued with the president." John Roberts Fox and a few others still observe such customs. Too many now don't. Acosta and Trump have clashed several times over the years, with the president calling him a rude, terrible person in 2018. The White House briefly revoked Acosta's press badge that same year, which prompted a legal challenge. Watch Jim Acosta interrupts Dr. Birx as she criticizes the World Health Organization's response to the coronavirus.
All around the globe, country after country is dealing with this. And we can talk about why didn't Italy do something, or Spain do something, or Germany do something, or we can really say right now, we all can do something. We can do the social distancing and all of the pieces that we know is starting to work around the globe in country after country. And then when we get through all of this, we can ask the questions about, could we have done some piece of this better as a global community? I will remind you that on February 3rd, the head of the WHO said there was no reason to ever do a travel ban. You know, it wasn't until January 14th that we knew that there was human-to-human transmission.
Dr. Birx, the president was saying this was going to go away. It's April.
It is going to go away.
This president, you said it was going to go away in April. You said when it warmed up in April.
I said it's going away, and it is going away. Okay.
Watch the explosive exchange that ultimately ended in Jim Acosta having his hard pass revoked.
One of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign, in the midterms, that
here we go.
That, well, if you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants in
Not
this
at all.
election
No, not
to
at
try
all.
to keep?
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process. I want it to be a process, and I want people to come in, and we need the people.
Your
You know,
campaign.
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
Well, that's true.
But
they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Right. These were people. This was an actual, you know, it happened a few days ago. And
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of
you know
miles
what?
away.
I
That's
think
not an
you
invasion.
should, honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings
Let
would
me
be
ask,
much
if
better.
I may
Okay,
ask
that's
one other
enough.
question, Mr. President. If I may ask
Peter,
one
go
other
ahead.
question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
That's
I was
enough.
going to ask one of the other folks.
That's
have had-
enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr.
Excuse
President.
me. That's enough.
The other folks have
That's
had-
enough. Pardon me, ma'am. Mr.
Excuse me. That's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other
Peter,
question,
let's
if
go.
I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have
I'm not concerned
indictments-
about anything with
that you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming down?
investigation because it's a hoax.
Are you-
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter, go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts
Well,
his
I'm
butt
not a
like
big
the rest
fan
of
of
us.
yours either, so
I understand.
to be honest.
So let me ask you a question if I can. You repeatedly said...
You aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly, over the course of
Okay,
the...
just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Mr. President, over the course of the last several days of the campaign, sir,
Share your thoughts and responses in the comments down below. If you've liked this report, let us know by tapping that like button down below, share the news among friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news and updates on TST. I'm David Ravine, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe.